Chicago. Monrisa approached the intersection. A car waited at the stop sign from the side. Another vehicle sped in. Monrisa executed a few rapid maneuvers, backing away. Then cautiously approached after a moment. "Can you hear me, sir?" The man's eyes flickered open, and he tried to speak. Monrisa leaned closer to hear him better. "Hospital. You want to go to the hospital? Let's see if you have the funds to pay for the trip." Monrisa reached into the injured man's coat and pulled out a wallet. Plenty of cash. A driver's license, Matthew Brown. A few business cards, Matthew Brown. She took one card. Monrisa stopped the car in front of the hospital, helped the man out, and led him to the front door. On the radio, reports detailed a major incident involving crime boss Matthew Brown. "Just my luck, again?" Monrisa thought. "Why do all these anomalies keep crossing my path?" That evening, she left the lights on in her house and waited in her car, camouflaged by the darkness. She watched as two men stealthily approached and entered her apartment, clearly ready for action. Her intuition was right. It was time to leave the city. She drove through the night. Flashbacks danced in her mind. How did it all begin? Even at 15, she'd longed for a close friend. She'd always craved the excitement a big city offered, considering casual friendships with men a waste of time. After all, they seemed interested in only one thing. She had no close friends until she met John. They got along well. Likely because they shared similar interests. They had the same taste in music, movies, and sports. John and Monrisa started spending time together at the gym and occasionally went to clubs. Then, John abruptly vanished. Monrisa investigated on her own. She asked around. Searched until she learned about the two individuals responsible for John's disappearance. One night, she confronted them. One became aggressive. But Monrisa reacted swiftly. She acted decisively, swiftly incapacitating him. The other tried to flee, but she caught up to her. She brought him down with brutal efficiency, leaving him unable to resist. The road stretched endlessly before her. A ribbon of asphalt leading into the unknown. Memories struck her like waves crashing against sharp, treacherous rocks. It wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about transformation. She glanced in the rearview mirror. She saw the woman she had become. A relentless figure, forged by pain and betrayal, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Then, fear crept in. She wasn't alone anymore. Darkness was with her. Chaltamac was a city spread between two hills. She parked her car and entered a small restaurant. The air inside was thick with the aroma of coffee and sizzling bacon. Customers chatted idly over plates of food. Monrisa slipped into a chair in the back corner. Coffee. The waitress approached kindly. "Yes, please," she replied. Her gaze fell on the help wanted sign. She needed anonymity. And nothing provided it better than a job in plain sight. "Is it still valid?" Monrisa asked. "Yes. Are you interested?" She was. "Do you have experience?" "I'll learn quickly. Come in tomorrow morning. We open at 6. I'll be here." She rented a room in a building a few blocks away. She started working. Through the restaurant window, Monrisa saw a woman gesturing wildly, stopping a bus full of passengers. She stepped out of the restaurant and walked towards the woman, who stood disoriented in the middle of the street. "You stopped a bus with passengers. It's dark, and you could have been hit. Why did you do that?" I asked the driver what time it was. The driver looked scared, and the passengers were worried. "You frightened them. Is that the problem? Why couldn't he just ignore me? He could have driven around me and continued his route." "You're overreacting. Everyone's going to lose their minds," another lady, who had stopped to listen, remarked. "I know you," the woman said. "You work at the restaurant. I sometimes drink there. Here's the deal. If you buy me a drink, I'll tell you the whole story later, at the bar," the woman said. "The other day, I was on that bus. Among the passengers was a young woman who laughed at a joke. The driver pulled over, grabbed the young woman, and handled her. For a moment, the young woman was disoriented, stood uncertainly for a while, looking at the ground without understanding the gesture. Everyone on the bus watched the scene. All the passengers just sat and watched without reacting to such rudeness. Later, I regretted not intervening. Now, I recognized the bus. I stopped to confront the driver for his rough treatment of that young woman, and fortunately, it was a different driver behind the wheel. I didn't expect that. I got flustered, not knowing what to say, so I just blurted out something silly. I asked him what time it was. That's the story. That's how Monrisa met Teresa.